in the gym 2 or 3 times a day, and try to get back to as comfortable as I felt before that Brooklyn trip. And so I feel like that preparation that I had has helped a little bit.
Were you by yourself in the gym, or did somebody come work with you?
I was with Chase, our rebounder, or I guess our manager, but he rebounded for me. Luke got in there with me a little bit, but other than that, it was kind of just me on my own with Chase.
Was there a point where you said, "Okay, I've got it. I figured out what's going on with this roof"?
I mean, there was nothing that was really wrong. My shots just were falling. So everybody will dissect it and say, there's something wrong mentally, there's something wrong with the shot, physically. It was the same as that shot. They just weren't falling. Everybody has those days. And so for me, I just try to get back in the gym and still feel as comfortable as I have felt in the past.
Justin, after the game yesterday, all your teammates were very conscious of the fact that you had tied the school record for most three-pointers in a season, and that they were trying to get the ball to you to do it. Were you conscious of it? Did you know that you had done it and you were that close?
I knew I was tied. My teammates had told me that I was tied with it. I had 2 chances in the second half to try to break it. I didn't do it. So, but like I said before, it's an honor and a blessing just to be in that conversation. But also, my teammates are huge. Like you said, they look for me a lot more whenever they know I've got it going. And also, whenever they know I'm close to that record, I think they did look for me a little bit more.
What do you remember about the game 2 years ago against these guys in Jacksonville? You had 16 points, I believe.
It was a hard game. They pressed the whole entire game. They were physical. They played honestly similar to us as far as how fast they play. And the personnel is different. They've got some pretty good shooters, and they've got a big inside that's rather dominant. If I remember last, they had Bobby Portis, which was dominant as well. But Moses is playing extremely well. And they've got some guards that are extremely good, so they got to play well.
Do you prefer to play a team that wants to play the same kind of style as you, or I know that Virginia is a pain in the neck to play and those kinds of. So do you relish this?
It's always fun to play against a team that goes that fast because we're able to get out just like they are, and so like you said, there's not many teams like Virginia that play as slow as they do, and so for us we have to be able to win in different situations, but going against a team that plays fast, I think it'll be good for us.
Does that give you a confidence when you go into a game knowing that you're probably going to be staying in your wheelhouse, or what you guys want to do, the style of play will probably let you do that?
It gives you a little more confidence. You can just go out there and play. For us, it's we have to, like I said before, we have to be able to win different types of ways. And so whether they play slow or they play fast, we got to come out and play as hard as they do.
The way Kennedy was trying to take care of his body more, proteins and doing rehab and cupping and all that stuff. Do you feel like you can notice maybe more of a freshness about him? I know held out of some practices and things like that. Is there maybe some of that too?
Maybe a little bit. For him, obviously, he's got some nagging injuries. So it's hard to fight through those, but he's done a good job of getting with Doug and then trying to get his body feeling better. And the more he does that, the more it helps us. So you can kind of sense he's a little quicker.
He had some nice sequences yesterday.
Yeah, he's definitely you can tell his body's feeling a little bit better, and I think that goes back to the time that he got in with Doug and Jonas trying to take care of his body.
You guys had about a perfect rebounding game yesterday.
Is there any similarities that we can take anything from that game?
Listening to the Arkansas people talk about how important they think it's going to be to stop you guys from going. You guys didn't have a leading rebounder per se yesterday. Everybody got in there and got rebounds. What is it about the way you guys rebound?
Coach yells at us enough to get to offensive glass. And yesterday it was a little harder because Texas Southern was just a little smaller than us. And so, it was good to see us still try to attack that and try to dominate that as much as possible. But, for us, Coach tells us all the time, the 5, 4, 3, and the 2 is at the long rebounding spot. So, all 4 of us should be in there trying to get a rebound. And if we can do that, that just adds more possessions to the game for us, give us more ability to score.
Arkansas only has a couple of guys guys that played in that game 2 years ago, but is it advanced for you guys that you played that system and played that style? You kind of know what they want to do?
You know, honestly, I feel like we played kind of that style in practice every day. You know, they like to run. You know, they're a physical team as well. You know, but obviously, like you said, the personnel's different. They're playing extremely well right now, and so you know, we have to go out there and we got to match what they bring.
In that game 2 years ago, you guys were struggling a little bit early, and Nate came in. It gave you guys a huge lift over about a 5 or 6 minute period. What do you remember from what he gave you guys, especially considering the fact he hadn't been playing that much going into that game, and it was sort of a rebirth for him, so to speak?
I mean, you know, there's been multiple games where Nate has come in and given us, you know, some type of spark. You know, I think yesterday he played great, but in that particular game, you know, he just comes in and does what he can control. You know, whether coach plays him 25 minutes or 15 minutes, he comes out there and plays as hard as he possibly can on defense, and then offensively, he gets an open shot, knock it down. If not, distribute, do whatever he needs to do to help us.
Do you guys salivate some when you see that you're going to play a team that likes to run, that doesn't want to control the tempo?
I don't know if we salivate because Arkansas is a really good team, but you know, knowing that we're going to play that fast and knowing they like to play kind of the same way we do, it definitely helps a little bit.
Thanks,